This is George Boston Rhymes once again, and I'm still working on the case. What case am I working on? I'm trying to show that because the news media in South Georgia often fail to report to the general public what goes on at public meetings, I want to show how the people and entire South Georgia is affected by not having the news disseminated to the American people here in the state of Georgia. And so on July the 17th at the Brooks County Board of Elections, problems were highlighted at this public meeting, yet no South Georgia news media reported what took place. Dr. Nancy Denner during this public meeting highlighted that the meeting had not been publicized, number one. Number two, the meeting was never called to order. Number three, minutes from the previous meeting was never voted upon or approved. And it was almost as if though Robert's Rules of Order was just completely thrown out of the window. We also had citizens talk about other things like people being left off the ballot, people assigned to the wrong district. Commissioner Maxwell had problems. But the point is that at this particular public meeting on July the 17th, many things were highlighted, but the citizens know absolutely nothing about it. Now I'm going to skip right along to save time because all that's already on my YouTube channel under SOS playlist. That's SOA, which Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp playlist, and you can see the actual meeting. I was called to record it because people know in Brooks County what goes on and never report it. So I'm still trying to get the people here in South Georgia, in Atlanta, and around the nation to draw attention to what we go through in a community where little to no news media disseminated to the general public. Because it is indeed a serious problem. Now let me get right on to the point. The man that you're looking at, I'm not going to give you his name on this clip, but Secretary of State of the state of Georgia sent this investigator in from Macon. And you are looking at a meeting that was called. He came to investigate. People gave him all kinds of comments and what was going on. And yet, nothing has been said about it, even during the election of the President of the United States. Here I gave him a DVD, and yet I called people in Brooks County, asked them what have they heard about from Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp's office about the alleged accusations made against the Brooks County Board of Elections, and they tell me they haven't heard anything. Well, it's pretty interesting. That's me right there. I gave him a DVD that I had made of other meetings and different things, but you know, it's just strange. Well, be that as it may, I will assure you of one thing. The Quitman 10 case supposed to go to court on December the 10th, I'm told. I haven't read nothing in the newspaper or on television or on radio to tell the general public any difference. So on December the 10th, 2012, we'll be looking for the Quitman 10 plus 2 to have their case tried in a court of law. And so we just want you to remember that here in South Georgia, there are a few of us who have never and will never give up. And so please be advised. This is why I created this particular new playlist. I want to show the people here in South Georgia how our newspapers And all these television stations and radio stations are destroying our community, it's hurting our form of government, and I can only imagine how the people at Moody Air Force Base feel when they see their Commander-in-Chief picture excluded from the front page of the Valdosta Daily Times following the presidential election on November the 6th. Nothing, not one picture was in the Valdosta Daily Times. Not one picture was posted on the front page of the Quitman Free Press. Not one picture was published on the front page of the Thomasville Times Enterprise. I was called by several concerned citizens in Thomas County. They called me, two of them, I don't know how they got my number, and said, "George, can you believe this? Not even a picture of the president that was re-elected." And so I'm going to continue, and I'm 100% sure, if not within the next 20 years, within the next 100 years, I believe, I'm going to repeat, I believe if not the next 20 to 25 years, I believe in the next 100 or 150 years, something is going to change here in South Georgia for the betterment of all blacks, white, right, Asian peoples, and everybody else. But it is indeed sad. But we're going to continue working because we believe in this form of government. So I'm going to let Roy C. close this out in his own way. Because I do believe he says it best.
But we're afraid we're not going to see it when we get...
Yes. Well, we've been hearing that for years. It's not true. Social Security is fine. And if you elect people like Paul Ryan, you're not going to have your Medicare. But what Obama...
It is indeed strange. And I do mean strange. When we have just went through a very controversial election, and yet people seem to just not be able to get over the fact that President Barack Obama was re-elected. Listen, please. Putting in this overtime if voting rights will be respected here in the United States of America, and that justice will come even to the Quitman 10. This is the voice of South Georgia saying to you, bye-bye, we go.